Welcome to another episode of Into the Pot, the show where I review different pieces of media, what they meant to me, and how they've added flavor to the stew of my life. Today we're talking about the live-action How to Train Your Dragon movie. As always, I'll start with the good, then the bad, and finish off with the themes and details that resonated with me. Beware, there will be spoilers ahead. So let's start off with the good. So, I gotta say, visually, this new live-action remake of How to Train Your Dragon was spectacular. The best way I can wrap my head around this is if you had a video game that was about 15 years old and then all of a sudden they announced a remaster. Updated visuals, updated graphics. That is exactly what this movie felt like to me. Aside from the part that it was almost exactly the same as the original, it felt just like a massive visual upgrade. The dragons looked gorgeous. The environments looked amazing. They made me want to go there in real life. I know Burke's not a real place. Maybe one day. But overall, just the visual aspect of the movie was gorgeous. And I think they did such an amazing job with them. I can see the love and the care from even making the village of Burke to the flying scenes, to the fire explosions. It looked visually spectacular. And that is my favorite part about this movie. It is a treat to watch, as well as hear the soundtrack. To hear that soundtrack again in theaters stirred something within me. You know, it was like, oh, such an iconic piece, and it was so great. And I actually loved the rest of the movie as well. I love the direction that it took with all of the characters. Every single one of them felt like a true copy to the live action one, aside from one in particular, which I'll mention in the bad. But overall, this is how a live action remake should be done. It was so tasteful, so reminiscent to the original, but just massively upgraded. Now that the good's out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about the bad. Now, this movie is kind of unnecessary. Let's clear the elephant out of the room here. The animated one holds up extremely well. And in fact, if you wanted to watch How to Train Your Dragon, you don't need to watch this movie. You can watch the animated one. You can always watch the animated one. And in fact, I do think some of the visual features of the characters' faces are so much better in the animated one. Because let's be honest, you can't necessarily have cartoony looking people in a live action one because it's live action. So their mouth is going to be a natural mouth. It's not going to do a wide grin. It's not going to do a very animated facial expression. So with that in mind, obviously the animated one is going to hold up a little bit more well in sort of establishing those themes and the feel of the movie. But the live action one was visually stunning. Another thing that I would say does not hold up to the animated one, which has been verified by my wife, is that Astrid, for some reason, isn't as fiery as she is in the animated version. For some reason, she feels a little bit more subdued, a little bit more serious, and not really ready to explore sort of rage. She's annoyed, sure, but she rarely ever shows it. But overall, again, if you just wanted to watch How to Train Your Dragon, the animated one is going to be your best bet. But this was done with so much love that it's very hard to say that it's not anything good. And finally, let's talk about the themes and details that resonated with me. So, just like the original, the themes of taking care of each other and deciding that violence isn't the answer is very prevalent in here. And to be honest, there are so many lines that hearing them now in the year 2025 is hitting a lot closer to home. I loved the interactions where they were like, oh, the dragons have killed hundreds of us. And he says, yeah, but we've killed thousands. And that's really real compared to real life world conflicts right now, where two sides are just killing each other. And, you know, one kills dozens and the other kills hundreds and thousands. And it's like, it is so much. And clearly the sides are not equal because one, they're dragons and one, they're humans, but there are all the weapons and stuff. And so overcoming that barrier of hatred to fight a common enemy and to treat each other with that love, care, and kindness is so amazing. And this year, you know, after having our puppy last year, and now he's a 1-year-old boy, it really makes me care about him a lot. And I really love him so much. And seeing Toothless, you know, being a little pet and just being goofy and rambunctious, like it really reminds me of our little dog at home. So that is something that I really love. And it's portrayed both in the original and this movie. And it is very hard to not compare this movie to the original because let's be honest, at the end of the day, they're almost the exact same movie. which I think is a perfect way to do a live action remake. I can't help but compare this to the Lilo and Stitch earlier this year, and that was not it. And this is it. If you want to do live action remakes, do it in this way. You see all the love, the care, the budget, the CGI, everything is done so well in this movie that it really just shows the love and care and had for it. And it didn't look like they were trying to just make a quick buck. But with all that in mind, I would gladly give this movie a 9 out of 10, especially if we're comparing the original one to be a masterpiece, a 10 out of 10. This is easily a 9 out of 10. And to be honest, as time goes on, if they remake the rest of the series, that would be nice as well. But at the end of the day, animated one's there. This one does feel unnecessary, but it was a welcome addition to seeing real amazing care and love into this project. So I did actually really like it. It made me tear up just as the original one did many years ago. So there you have it. I gave you my thoughts and opinions about what How to Train Your Dragon meant to me, and now I want to hear what you all think about it down in the comments. Do you agree or disagree with my opinions and the general consensus about it? Let me know. And if you enjoyed this video, consider dropping a like and subscribing for more. As always, check the links in the description for my main video essay channel and my Patreon to support the channel and recommend me media for me to review next. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.